If you want to check out this on YouTube or even Facebook, I'm going to have some screen shares on there as well for everybody that's on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to have a little quick screen share of this so you can kind of see some of the cool stuff that is involved with the, let's see here, I'll actually add it to stream. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to add it. Here we go. The neuroscience of your flow triggers. So, which is really cool. Flow is a higher conscious state. Like we're in the zone, right? So we're getting that dopamine, the norepinephrine, and reducing our cognitive load is how we can really get into the flow state and have these. There's external and internal triggers. There's a lot that goes into this, a lot of cool stuff. So I won't geek out on it, but I really wanted to talk about the myth of the 10% brain. And you know, a lot of times people, you hear this a lot, right? Like the human body we use 10% of our brain. And so you're like, okay, wow. The logical like thing to ask yourself then is like, okay, well, maybe Einstein used 30%, 20%. He used more than the 10%, which is interesting. So what groups like the Flow Research Collective have found that flow, like executive function, executive attention, your pre-planning, your ability to focus and think ahead of time and plan things out, strategize, analyze, be logical, all that happens in your prefrontal cortex, right? In the structures of your prefrontal cortex. And super cool and interesting is that when you look at these structures, identity, ego, and self-monitoring are also in the structures of the prefrontal cortex. And interesting enough, I know that Stephen Kotler was saying to us during Zero to Dangerous, and he even talks about this in his book, The Art of Impossible, as well, which is a breakdown of, it's a map of Zero to Dangerous course, that actually when we're in flow, when we're 500% more productive, when we can learn 750% faster and memorize those things and get them into the long-term memory of our brain, that we're actually using less of our brain, because what's happening is some of the structures of the prefrontal cortex are actually shutting down. So self-monitoring, your inner critic, those things, your ego, those things are being shut down. And how do those things get shut down? Because of the trigger science, right? The dopamine. And if you're on Facebook, YouTube, you're gonna see these slides. If you're on Instagram, I don't have the screen share for that. But the dopamine, the norepinephrine, those things are just being shoved into your brain. There's the serotonin, the oxytocin, all these. Flow is such a high, it's a cocktail of all these crazy chemicals that are heightening our state of consciousness. But being in the zone, aka flow, you're in a higher state of consciousness because of all of the things that take you there, which are, you know, pre-planning, right? So to be very productive, to be very creative and in the moment and be super focused and dialed in, you can't make your tasks and do them at the same time, right? So you want to pre-plan your day, your tasks, and then that next day you can execute on those tasks, right? But you don't want to execute and plan at the same time. So a sniper is not in the battlefield strategizing and analyzing. He's already spent months, weeks, days before even getting to the battlefield strategizing, sharpening his saw, getting it very dialed in so that he knows exactly what to do in the moment. There's no thinking. It lowers cognitive load and he just does it, right? There's like a kung fu essence to this. So, you know, really getting things dialed in into the next level and getting into flow means using that, clear goals, pre-planning, reducing cognitive load, writing things on paper, and writing things on paper is different from journaling in you typing it into your laptop desktop, right? So I really suggest, and this comes from like Stephen Kotler himself talking about how there's a difference between writing it long form, pen to paper, and typing things in. So I really think that everybody should be writing things down, ideas, worries, whatever, pre-planning things. It's going to reduce cognitive load, which means you have way more brain power, way more space to really just execute in the moment. But the myth of the 10% brain, there's to be smarter and do a lot more doesn't mean we're using more of our brain. It actually means we're using less areas of our brain, like the prefrontal cortex is structures of that is being shut down so that we're more creative, we're more in the zone, we're more focused, dialed in, and we know exactly what to do because we've already pre-planned ahead of time what needs to be done. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I have a call right now at 10 o'clock, so I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want me to post a link for the application for Zero to Dangerous so you guys can be a part of this amazing community, I can post that in the comments section. I can message it to you. Let me know. It is application. So anybody that wants to be a part of that, the Flow Research Collective and Zero to Dangerous, you would definitely have to apply and be accepted into the amazing group, life-changing program group. Definitely suggest getting involved with anybody that's trying to get into peak performance and level up their game at a drastic rate. Huge paradigm shift for me. There's no way I would ever go back to where I was before a couple months ago. So anyways, I appreciate it, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Peace to the OUT.